All right, the Reds, thank you very much for tuning in for our post-match reaction show. Make sure you do get your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you're watching live or if you're watching on repeat. Make sure you do get your comments in, your thoughts on the game in Liverpool winning 1-0. It wasn't, we made a hard work for ourselves, but it was very much a battling performance from a Steven Gerrard side that you would fully expect. Aston Villa have been playing very well under his stewardship, really, in terms of recent weeks. We've seen the impact in which he's had. And Liverpool, this is going to be another massive 3 points off the back of the Wolves game, really. Now, the winning mentality that is breathing throughout this whole squad in particular. Today could have been one of those days, but Liverpool's players, frankly, didn't allow themselves to themselves. Obviously, we'll speak about the referee performances yet again today, but it was important that we didn't just leave it up to the referee to very much frustrate us. We kept on knocking on the door. Aston Villa really didn't have one shot on target. They registered 4 shots throughout that game, but Liverpool very much in and around the box. We cut out all the opportunity, which was fantastic from a defensive point of view. We were excellent throughout that whole game. But Mitchell, yeah, it was a very stressful game, wasn't it, mate? Let me know your thoughts on the game, fella. It was frustrating, but it's not going to be a walk in the park like we seen when we did win the league all those seasons ago. It's games like this, these games that you just grind out, and come the end of May, if you're top of the league, these are the points. It's all right beating teams 4 or 5-0, but you probably get more of a satisfaction in terms of not the heart rate monitors of every red around the world, but in hindsight, after the game, you're like, it was a gritty performance. But yeah, Mitchell, I'm pretty sure your stress levels and every single red around the world, the stress levels were absolutely through the roof. Absolute legends. If you don't mind dropping a like on the video as well, Reds, just so a lot more Reds can see it. Only seen the second half. We look strong enough, seem to be just that final pass. Jack, yeah, absolutely spot on. Cheers for jumping in, mate. Absolute legend. Yeah, it was a very dominant display from Liverpool in terms of every aspect. I was very impressed by Jordan Henderson yet again. Obviously, the combination play between those three in the middle of the park. Another tally to add to Thiago's win ratio, being at the heart of Liverpool's midfield. I don't think he's lost a game. I think he's lost one game or so. Or it's a crazy stat. You probably already know it in the chat anyway. Let us know what it is. But yeah, another commanding performance by Henderson. What I loved about him and obviously the three midfielders today, Jack, most importantly, and everyone in chat, when Villa did break the line, they did break through Liverpool in terms of the press, was absolutely crazy, especially in that second half. We didn't buckle under the pressure, but the intelligence in which Henderson, Thiago, and most importantly, Fabinho did show in terms of knowing when to foul. The Aston Villa players really was so integral to disrupting the momentum, especially when we did get that goal deep into the 67th minute. There was still a lot of football still to play, and the sheer intensity in which Aston Villa, like we see in recent weeks, thrust upon teams. But Henderson, he was there fouling, the clever fouls. That's what you need sometimes at dark arts. The maturity from not just your attacking players, but your midfielders and defenders, just soaking a lot of the pressure out of the game, just slowing the game down. That's very much what Aston Villa did do. Reds won it. They were frustrating as obviously the crowd were very much getting on the back of the referee, and rightly so, because we've seen so many times refereeing performances come to Anfield, but how Martinez escaped that game. I think I don't even know if he got a yellow card. Probably didn't. I've forgotten the ref's name, but he was an absolute disgrace anyway. But talk about the Reds. That's the most important thing. John, hey Jack, hope you're well. Good win, but Stevie gave us a good game. Yeah, John, it's integral. That's what we all anticipated from Stevie when he didn't even touch the Liverpool badge, which I'm not surprised because obviously he's the manager of Aston Villa, a very big institution in Aston Villa anyway. Won a couple of more European Cups than certain clubs in Manchester. So, yeah, it's tremendous to see Stevie thrive. And most importantly, Liverpool did get the 3 points. But I tell you, Villa do play that like that against a lot of the top teams, and obviously the middle teams and the lower teams in the league. You will get a lot of points. It's great to see the turnaround and the impact in which he's had. Obviously, everyone does like to speak about the new managerial bounce, but Stevie, he knows exactly what he's doing and what he wants from this footballing side in Aston Villa. Even Danny Ings flew on Danny Ings, the back end of that game. Of everything, Watkins did go out down to the left-hand flank in the 4-3, but he tried the best to very much disrupt. And Stevie knows, we all of us do, don't we? We watched Liverpool in recent times, pre-Klopp, when teams very much did rock up to Anfield and park the bus and just hope for that one opportunity and very much frustrate Liverpool. And I think that's what Gerrard's learned. Obviously, he was captain of Liverpool for a very long time, and that's what you can do, not just against Liverpool, but the top sides. If you might be a bit more defensively, but it's about taking the opportunities and of Joel Matip as well, and Van Dijk and Robbo and Trent. And even Ali, he didn't have his best game, but he's allowed that. He's world class, and it's a whole point of having the whole squad ethos of one for all, really banding together like brothers. Because there was a couple of shaky moments, especially in that second half, one of the Reds for Allison. And another day, a ref, you never know what you're going to get with these refs, but I think it would have been harsh to give a penalty the back end of that game for an Aston Villa. I think Allison done. He hiccuped, but he recovered very well, and the defenders around him defensively were absolutely superb in terms of recovering the possession. Another big win for us, yeah, Chris. It's so important. Taking all these games off game by game, and obviously when we did win the league a couple of seasons ago, Chris, most importantly, and everyone, these 1-0 victories are so important. I tell you now, our heart rates wouldn't take it, like taking a 1-0 in our next 10 fixtures. But as long as it did guarantee the Reds all 3 points, that's the most important thing. As Dave likes to say, point to me prizes, the absolute legends, and they do. But it's so important, especially we've seen Chelsea did get a late winner, sadly, but we've got to focus on ourselves. And it was never going to be a walk in the park. I think I said 3-2. I thought I envisioned Aston Villa ready to come to Anfield and very much frustrate us, really. And that's what they did. But again, Henderson for me, man of the match, for me personally. And there was a lot of good shouts for, obviously, in that defence. Joel Matip, superb yet again. And Mohamed Salah. Is it 30 goal contributions this season in 22 games? What does this man do? And he's already on 30 goal contributions. Long may that continue. The Egyptian king bagging yet another goal. Mo had a couple of opportunities today in Sadio. I felt you're coming away from this game, especially the back end of that game, Reds as well, one there. There was a couple of breakaways, especially on counter-attacks, where sometimes you just need that bit of luck, bit of bounce, bit more extra touch, 1 or 2 players here and there, and we would have been through a bit more easier, but that wasn't the case. We won the game 1-0, and obviously we weren't relying on, obviously, refereeing decisions. How ironic, Chelsea and Man City and Liverpool win their games by penalties today. Yeah, that just shows highlights the sheer inability of the Premier League referees. Reds, let me know in the comment section below if you're watching live or after the show. Would you be up for the idea and the notion of getting ex-players to officiate Premier League games? For me, these clowns, and they are clowns, all these referees in England have all got big personalities. They've got allegiances. Most of them are all from Manchester. Doesn't surprise me anyway, but they're all pally, they're all mates. You don't want to be disrupting each other in terms of their decision making. I was just doing a podcast with Owen from the Cop On podcast, and he was saying the referees in England all have like a point scoring system, so they don't want to give decisions here and there, week in, week out, because it disrupt the momentum in terms of their mates. Some of the decisions that we've seen today at Anfield, I'm not saying, obviously, we want referees to come to Anfield and roll over it and bay into the pressure. But what you expect, whether that was at Liverpool or up and down the country in terms of Premier League refereeing officials, just the bare minimum of doing your job properly. Quite frankly, a lot of the Premier League referees haven't got a clue what they're doing. And for me, employ ex-players because they understand, they've been a player, they know 50-50s or certain moments in games. For me personally, I'd give ex-players refereeing qualifications, get them trained up because all these referees, you probably haven't even played to a high standard in terms of as a player. They've probably played in the park, and that's the biggest level in which they've got. So they're all failed players, all these referees anyway. John, ref was a joke, should have sent himself off. Very much agree with that, John. Hello, fellow Reds. We let it drop for the last 15, but we got over the line. 3 points, so important, Eamon. Yeah, we did, but that is a lot of credit. Does have to go to Aston Villa, doesn't it, Eamon? And it just embodies Steven Gerrard's ethos, never say die attitude. Didn't allow his players to lie down and roll over for Liverpool, because many teams today would have crumbled under the pressure, which we've seen, especially this season, the Reds' dominance really throughout the whole performance. But let me know your man of the match performance today, Reds. Obviously, Salah getting his goal. Henderson was to be one of your midfielders. Really, let us know in the comment section below. Robinson was my man of the match personally from Chris. Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with that, mate. He was commanding. He is back to his best, isn't he, Chris? And then Reds, he's commanding. Since it's positive that we have got Costas giving him that competition. That's what we want, especially up front, up the other end of the pitch as well. But sadly, Divock Origi was injured today. But it was thrust upon Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to start the game. I felt he did have a good game. I know he didn't get a goal, but he was at least in and around the box. He was having the odd shot here and there outside the edge of the D anyway. But obviously, Jota coming on, it was important that we did have that option off the bench. We would have been left with obviously Taki Minamino really to come off the bench, but very much agree with that. Robinson was absolutely superb in terms of getting forward. It's not as easy job, is it, Chris? Especially against a Matty Cash as well, chat. We've seen how dominant he has been in recent weeks. I tell you, there will be a lot of full-backs, especially left-backs in the league in the next couple of weeks that will be getting a very torrid time against Matty Cash anyway. Foreign refs is the answer for me. Interesting, Chris. I think especially the Premier League like to pride themselves on having the best product in world football, don't they, Reds? But quite frankly, it's a case-by-case basis from all these referees. There's no consistency from the top to the bottom of them. Yeah, but yeah, happy to get 3 points here, the Anfield Lark. Cheers for dropping in, mate. Absolute legends. We're starting to get nervy. Oh, yeah, they were. But we stuck in there, didn't we? Can't imagine many top players wanting to be a ref. Maybe lower leagues. Interesting. Mane was a bit off it today, but for me, his final touch wasn't good at all. I think Mane's allowed his off day any mate. But I felt the forward three, especially with Ox and obviously with Jota coming in deep in that second half. I think all the lads done their utmost best. I think Liverpool created 20-odd shots on goal today, and we had 5 shots on target. Obviously, one of those shots on target was the resultant penalty for Mohamed Salah, but it's so positive that we are going in against the likes of Aston Villa, Wolves. I'd be more concerned if we weren't creating these chances. When you look at the likes of Chelsea, supposedly they did have, well, a couple of weeks ago, they did have the best record in the Premier League for goals conceded. But they, like a ship with a crack in it, they're leaking goals, really, in terms of, but the positive, Liverpool is scoring goals. And even if it is going to be a cagey 1-0 or 2-0, Liverpool will very much capitalise in terms of the final third of the pitch. Man of the match matter for me. Yeah, John, very much agree with that, matey. Alisson wasn't his best today, but that could have been. Yeah, I spoke about that before, Eamons. It was, I think you're talking about that possible, obviously dodgy decision at the back end of that game. I think it would have been harsh, but you never know, Eamons. Reds as well with the referees. Could have been given, could have not been given. But the Reds are absolutely flying yet again. Off the back of the Wolves game, it shows so much how these players mean so much just for the club and obviously for the fans as well. It was a positive display from the fans as well. Most importantly, especially it's those games, but the crowd were absolutely superb today in terms of backing our players, really, but superb. Absolutely excellent from every player today. But keep on grinding these results out, Reds, and I'm pretty sure we'll be sound come the end of May. But Reds, really appreciate every single one of you tuning in. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Try and relax, look after yourselves, and we will be doing a live stream watch along for the draw. So keep an eye on the channel for that as well, Reds. But Reds, I'll see you a bit later. But tomorrow we'll be going live for obviously a weekend analysis of obviously not just Liverpool's game, but for the rest of the Premier League fixtures, most importantly. But Reds, cheers. Really do appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. Eamon, John, the Anfield Lark, Chris, Jack 1135, Mitchell as well, and everyone, if you are watching this on the repeat, really do appreciate you tuning in. The Reds are absolutely flying, which is positive. Salah getting another goal. But Reds, I'll see you tomorrow for another video, another live stream. I'll try and be live for about 6 p.m. Or let me know what's the best time for you, Reds, individually, because we will I'll try and fit in a bit more better schedule for you so everyone can watch, really. But Reds, see you tomorrow for another live stream. And obviously on Monday, we've got the Champions League live reaction to let me know in the comment section below who you'd like Liverpool to draw in the last 16 of the Champions League. See you later, Reds, and you'll never walk alone. Make sure I haven't missed any comments as well. Eamon's absolute legend, John. That was going to win us the league. The 1-0s are very much going to be winning us the league, mate. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we just keep this momentum. But cheers, lads and ladies, as well for all your support. And you'll never walk alone. See you tomorrow, Reds. Ta-da.